Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Redlands. My name is Joe Nelson. I'll be leading you on this guided meditation this morning. If you'd like to join me in closing your eyes and taking a deep inhalation through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And let us center ourselves in our breathing for a moment. As we just feel our breath rise and fall naturally with ease. Don't try to control your breathing, just let it rise and fall. Let all the tension melt from your shoulders and relax as your breathing naturally grows deeper and slower with every inhalation and every exhalation. And so we take a moment to center in our breathing. And as you breathe, keep your attention focused on your breath. In through the nose. Feel your lungs expand with every inhalation. Feel all the tension exit your body with every exhalation. Just let your breath naturally, gracefully, with ease, grow deeper. As we center with Divine Spirit, ever present, always within, at the core of each and all of our being, like a light deep inside at the center of our being. See this light as a glowing ember or a glowing piece of coal, right at the center of you. This glowing coal, this glowing ember. Every inhalation, we see this glow stoke and flare up inside, illuminating, warming, calming. And then as we exhale, we breathe that energy, that light outward. To our surroundings. As we mesh with Spirit, unified, at one. Feel your breath grow deeper. Less labored. More steady. Any outside noises or distracting thoughts, recognize them. Don't pay any attention, just recognize them, let them go, and return to focusing on your breath. Just return that attention to your breathing. Feel the rise and fall. Deeper. As your breath grows deeper and more steady, we grow deeper into consciousness. Feel the light. We see the light in us and all around us. This is good. This light is good. It is divine. It is love. It is peace. It is calm. It is joy. Grow this inner sense of calm and peace, growing closer, united with Spirit, God essence. Feel the rise and fall as your breath grows deeper. Your attention becomes more centered. And just keep the attention focused on your breath. Christ light within. Stoking brighter, warmer, more intense with every inhalation and every exhalation. As we flow in the Spirit, in the present now, in oneness. Let your breathing guide you. Oneness with Spirit, with this divine intelligence, yourself moving into this bright light, this radiance, this goodness, this peacefulness. You move into it, breaking apart by cell, by molecule. You become one. You dissolve into this oneness. You are the light. You are the light. You move through it. You are it. Shining, bright, joyous, beauty. Truth. You flow and move. We flow and move through this. Freely, effortlessly. Feel the oneness. Moving through the earth, the atmosphere, into the heavens. You now look down and see the earth from the heavens above, moving through the vast expanses of the universe. At one, connected with the infinite. Flow and move in oneness with all there is. And God is all there is. Spirit is all there is. Move and flow, ease and grace, calm, peace, tranquility, divine protection, love. Glow in the radiance of divine spirit. In the Christ light. Now we move back to this terrestrial plane, moving back to the sacred place, to the sanctuary, to this present moment, this physical space. Some of you may want to wiggle your fingers and your toes and bring your consciousness back to this moment. I invite you, when it's comfortable for you, in your own pace, to just slowly open your eyes that you're ready. And this concludes our meditation. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, for that beautiful meditation. And we are immersed in beauty. If you were outside this morning and you had to be to get here, you saw it. So good morning, everybody. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm gonna ask you to maybe get up and greet your neighbor. Bump elbows, give them a fist bump, give them a hug, whatever you think is right, whatever you're both comfortable with. The folks who are online, I'm gonna ask you to maybe make a comment, put it in the chat or the comments below the YouTube play page. We'll read those later. We'll get your greetings or your affirmations, your well wishes, or your need for prayer. We'll get it all. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. And so is yours, and yours, and yours. And yours, and yours.
Good morning. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Redlands, California. My name is Holly, and I'm a member of this church. Our center is a spiritual home that is an open and inclusive community, honoring all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone. If you are here with us for the very first time, please raise your hand so we can wave and greet you properly. Morning, everyone. Hi. Good morning. gentle reminder to please silence your phones and place them safely away so you may participate more fully. We are so happy to have you with us for our service today, and we are grateful for your presence. And now, our centering music and song, Pure Imagination, performed by Al Yankee.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. Of course, thoughts are things, and imagination is the creative essence of all things. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of your creation. What you'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, just do it. If you want to change the world, well, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly want to be.
Thank you, Al, for that. Always love your music. May I ask you all to join me here in an opening prayer? Recognizing that God is all there is, in its entirety, in every point in space and time, right where I am and right where you are. I speak my word in unity with divine spirit, knowing it is truth which cannot be denied. We gather here this morning as a spiritual family in unconditional love and surrender to our highest and best good now, individually and collectively. As children of the Most High, we are grateful and thankful for Gilman Carver and Al Yankee and their music, the gift of divine music that is our gift of divine music, stirring and moving every soul present, opening us to the message to be delivered this morning by Sonja Prince. And in this sacred place, we experience a shift in consciousness as we center ourselves in consciousness. As we are still, and we recognize the divinity within each and every one of us. Together, we manifest our best and greatest good in this consciousness, knowing that good and more good is ours now and yet to be. I bless David over there in our sound booth, keeping us technically proficient. I bless our board of directors for their committed service in charting the course of CSL Redlands for years and generations to come. I bless people like Holly for your continued service and helping with the food preparation for our fellowship time. And I bless each and every one of you in our sanctuary here today, and all of you viewing remotely. I know that right where you are and right where I am, God is perfectly operating and demonstrating in our affairs right now. How grateful and thankful I am for knowing the truth that makes us free, for the blessings we share as a spiritual community and individually in our separate lives. Praise be for the divinity in me that is the divinity in each and every one of you. And so I release my word to the law of universal intelligence, to that God essence that always answers yes, knowing it is true, complete, and done. And may I invite you to just join me in saying, and so it is. I have a spiritual reading today by a woman named Yolanda Marie. This is called Channeled. There is a beautiful transformation occurring, however slowly, as so many of you know. You are feeling it, standing in the corridor between your previous circumstances and a new, more refined creative energy seeking to build for you, to restore your energy so that you may operate within new energetic parameters. And while you stand in this corridor, you may feel your patience, belief, and commitment being tested. But really, this is a strengthening of your will. This is refining your definition of yourselves, forcing you to admit to yourselves your own beautiful power. You are a force of nature which operates between worlds quite flawlessly, while allowing yourselves to simultaneously experience your human perspectives. Be tender to yourselves, as you may need to rest and renew. You have already prevailed, as the ignition has been set. Simply allow yourself to process and unfold. Thank you.
Simply allow yourself to process and unfold. I'm just going to follow on with that, just by simply allowing yourself to process and unfold. And put it this way: be at peace, be at peace, be at peace, be at peace. Be at peace. Be at peace. So it's kind of an affirmation, mantra. Be at peace. Be at peace. When your path seems filled with obstacles and your days seem filled with pain, it seems that no one's listening to you. When your mission seems impossible and you're blown by winds of change, let that small inner voice come through. Be at peace, you're alright, you're just fine, you are perfect, you're divine. Be at peace, you're all thoughts, you're all things, you're the universal mind. Be at peace, you're the spirit of an eagle, you're the sighing of a dove. Be at peace, at the center of creation, in everlasting love. You know, other people seem insensitive with their words and attitudes, giving voice to things that you just can't believe. But imagine for a moment that you're walking in their shoes. Bless their path, call it good, let them be. Be at peace, they're all right, they're just fine, they're perfect, they're divine. Be at peace, they're all thoughts, they're all things, they're the universal mind. Be at peace, they're the spirit of an eagle, they're the sighing of a humdrum tumble jumbling of our dizzy, busy days. We experience anxieties and doubts. Will they see my imperfections? Will they think that I'm okay? Don't despair. Breathe in, breathe out, and say to yourself, I'm all right, I'm just fine, I am perfect, I'm divine. Be at peace, I'm all thoughts, I'm all things, I'm the universal mind. Be at peace, I'm the spirit of an eagle, I'm the sighing of the dove. Be at peace, at the center of creation, in everlasting love. In everlasting love. There you have it. So, there's going to be a video.
Here's a little-known Black history science of mind fact. Meet Sarah Flowers, a prolific African-American writer of science of mind books in the 1940s. Flowers was a writer, publisher, metaphysician, frequent speaker, and teacher of the science of mind. She took the major course at the Institute of Religious Science in Los Angeles in 1937 and wrote her first book, Common Sense and Its Application in Everyday Life, in 1941. Other books followed, including The Metaphysical Thesaurus and Metaphysical Dictionary, Should I Pay for Metaphysical Treatment, and Atomic Metaphysics, The Electrical Principle of Man. In Atomic Metaphysics, she writes, in metaphysics, we must then recognize that there is a power that revolves in and around, out and beyond us, at a rate equal to the atomic energy in our material beings. But it's important to note what Sarah Flowers considered her most important work: teaching practitioners metaphysical treatment for all of the problems that confront us today. You might think Science of Mind's inclusive teachings of oneness would be immune to America's history of racial segregation, but that was not the case. Dr. J. Arthur Twine founded Eastside Church of Religious Science in his home in 1932. The congregation quickly grew and became the third church to be ordained and chartered by Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science. It was a thriving multiracial church, but in 1945, Third Church of Religious Science, as it was now called, was moved to the bottom of the church listings in Science of Mind magazine and noted as a colored church. Ernest Holmes found this unacceptable and went to speak to church members. He said, "I have been told that too many non-Caucasians attend these lectures. True, there are Caucasians and non-Caucasians in this congregation, but this we must affirm. We are all children of one living God, one God that permeates all without exception, one intelligence that governs all, and most important, every man and woman who abides in the universe is a significant entity in the one universal consciousness. Our doors will forever be open to all. Whoever you are, be proud. You are a divine idea in the mind of God." The magazine staff immediately corrected this error and returned to listing churches alphabetically. The following year, Dr. Twine made his transition, but the church remains strong today as Third Church Center for Spiritual Living. A number of Dr. Twine's descendants became practitioners, lay leaders, and ministers, including his great-granddaughter, Reverend Stacy Hilton, who currently serves as co-spiritual director of the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. Dr. J. Arthur Twine and Sarah Flowers, Black Evolutionaries in Science of Mind.
Oh. Ooh. Somebody left me a gift. This is our charter, signed by Ernest Holmes. Thank you. Where can I put? In chair? Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Let's say it again. Hello, everyone. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, today is Sunday, February 13th, Super Bowl. Yeah. Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah. Super Bowl Sunday. Is this my water? Yes. All right, thank you. So, I'm so happy to be here with you today, and let me just take a deep breath, get centered right here, right now. So blessed and honored to be here. You know, Centers for Spiritual Living have a global theme for the year, and that theme for 2022 is Living Everyday Wonder. The monthly focus is we're focusing this month of February on our inner life. But I have a story to tell you first before I get into the talk. And the story, you may have heard it before, but bear with me. Zen monks. Have you heard that story? Oh, good. I'll tell it to you then. So 2 Zen monks were crossing the river where they met a young, beautiful woman who also wanted to cross the river, but she was afraid. So one monk put her on his shoulders and carried her over to the other bank. The other monk was furious. He said nothing at the time, but he was boiling inside. That was forbidden. A Buddhist monk was not supposed to touch a woman, and this monk had not only touched her, but he had carried her on his shoulders. So they walked several leagues down the path, and when they arrived at the monastery, as they were entering, the monk who was angry turned to the other monk and said, "I will have to tell the master." And the monk said, "Tell the master what?" He said, "I'll have to report you because this is forbidden." "What are you talking about? What's forbidden?" He said, "It is forbidden for you to touch a woman, let alone carry her." He had forgotten all about it. So he said, "Listen, I carried her and left her at the bank. You down. Why are you still carrying her?" So the other monk, like sometimes we get into a situation where we feel anger, sometimes rage, resentment, envy, jealousy. And when we have these kinds of thoughts and feelings, they take a hold of us, and they can settle right here in our hearts if we give them a chance. So we need not to do that. In Ecclesiastes 7 chapter 9th verse, it says, "Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the heart of fools." I don't know about you, but I don't want to be a fool. So we study science of mind. So in science of mind, Holmes tells us that our hidden beliefs, our deeply held convictions inevitably reflect our experience and in our environment. Both physical conditions of our body emotional affairs. So what do we do in Science of Mind? We try to uncover these hidden beliefs so that we can consciously move them out of the way, leave them aside. So last Sunday, if you were here, you know that I spoke about baggage, and I had some suitcases, and I brought them up here. And so what that was representative of is that we carry baggage with us, and some things we know about, some things that we don't know about. And so I gave you some tools to foster release of those things. I also talked about triggers and buttons that we place on ourselves, and then when someone pushes that button, you know, we may get upset, we may get angry, we may experience the same thing that Monk was experiencing. So I spoke about what amounts to emotional baggage, the emotional baggage that we carry with us. And I shared with you the contents of our emotional baggage. It contains those triggers that I was talking about that can push and have us have undesirable reactions. And the undesirable reactions are, hey, they're negative, right? They're usually negative reactions. So I talked about some tools to help you with those triggers, and I spoke about an exercise that we did in, I didn't go into detail, but an exercise that we did in Prac Studies, where we had a technique that we were to uncover those triggers, identify them, uncover them, hold them out in front of us so we can properly deal with those. So we can do our spiritual work around those and get rid of those. So, moving forward this week, talking about that inner life, we come to the top title today, and that title is Pause and Find the Cause. Pause and find the cause. So I took those words. What is the cause? It's a condition, it's an action, it's a motive. Why do we do things? We have motive to do things. And the effects is the product of the cause. So if we go here, then the effects of that cause is going to outpicture here, correct? In our lives, what I spoke about. Every manifestation is effect, and every effect is subject to its cause. Everything we perceive with our physical senses is an effect. Comes out as an effect. Shows up in your life. Shows up in your relationship. Shows up in your body. Shows up all kinds of ways. So we have a principle that says the invisible, our first cause, the results of all this is made visible. So when we are having this effect, when we're having this emotion, it shows up. It shows up in our life. It shows up, like I said, in our relationship. So those are subconscious beliefs, conscious and subconscious beliefs. And they show up in our life. It's just inevitable because we are what? Co-creators. We are co-creating this experience. So when we pause, we can step back before we move forward on things. You know, a pause is a hesitation. So when we hesitate, you know, it's a temporary inaction. And it's a very powerful spiritual tool that we can use is to remember to pause. So have you ever had a compulsive emotional behavior? Sometimes I do. What's a good idea to what? Pause. Hit the pause button. And we can step back and observe. And this way we can replace that automatic, because you know, it's really automatic. Like, you say this, I say this. You know, I don't know about you, but I have a 24-year-old at home. So talking about triggers and talking about sometimes I need to hit the pause button because we do this dance. He says this and I say that, and he says this and I say that. And I said, hey, son, what time do you have to be at work? And he said, I have to be there at 4 o'clock. I said, okay, it's Friday. And, you know, Friday traffic tends to be a bit heavier. And it's Super Bowl weekend, so there may be people flying in all over. So how about we leave a little bit early, about 3:15, so I can make sure you get to work on time. New job, just started. First day. So he says, I don't know why I have to be to work 45 minutes early. We only live like 5 minutes away from there. And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so I forgot to pause. So what do I do in that situation? I phone a friend. Did you see that movie, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Where you can phone a friend. So I phoned a friend, and I said, just please move me out of this space that I'm in, because I'm only trying to get this child to work on time. And he said this and that, and then I was in my story. I forgot to pause. But she set me right on. She said, you know that Ernest Holmes stuff that you've been studying? Might want to pull some of that out and read it right now. So I just say that to say, so many times, you know, we have good intentions. We get up in the morning and we do our spiritual practice. We go in the silence. Maybe we read something contemplative. Maybe we call a friend and we pray over the phone. You know, we do these things, and then we're in this space. And then we step outside. And someone cuts us off. And something happens, or your kid won't cooperate with you, and you forget to pause. So I'm working on it. I stand before you saying, I'm working on it. So we know that the universe is reciprocal in nature. So therefore, we get what we give, and we attract what we are. So it's essential to observe ourselves. It's essential to have spiritual practices in place. It is essential to know our personality and not allow, my husband will love this, not allow those emotions to put us on autopilot. My husband's a pilot, he would love that. So what is autopilot? Autopilot is a computer that is essentially flying the plane for the pilot. So if I allow my emotions to be on autopilot, then I forget to pause. I forget to pause. So, you remember those things that says, Mother, I love you, and the M is for blah, blah, blah? So P in pause is for practice patience. We can practice patience. We can come from that place of compassion, of patience. And A, we can adjust our attitudes. I can adjust my attitude. And so when I need an adjustment of attitude and I can't seem to find it myself, like I said, I phone a friend. And I have some friends that will adjust my attitude. They don't, you know, I love them because they're so truthful to me. They're so truthful. I don't need anybody saying, you know, it's okay, Sonja, I see, you know, that kind of thing. I want friends in my life that's going to check me when I need to be checked. So you, and PAU, is understanding what the situation is, looking at it for what it really is. And in this situation, I was caught up in what I wanted to do. It was going to be and had to be my way. Did I get him to work on time? Yes, I did. Did we leave when I decided that we should leave? No, we didn't. Because I can't pick that 24-year-old up and throw him in the car. So, understand the situation and not I was inserting my will onto him, even though I was trying to get him to work. But I also have to look at the situation for what it is, look at who he is, and, we got there on time. The bottom line is I got him to work on time. Enough time where he could go in and relax and clock in and be there. And then the S, step outside of ourselves, step outside of the conditions, step outside of what we see and what we think. And sometimes we might have to step outside and walk into nature. So step outside of that problem that you're in. Just step outside of it. And then E, we get to examine it. I got to examine where I was coming from. I got to examine it, pick it apart, see my son for who he really is, see the God in my son, and know that everything is going to be okay. And I got to examine myself. So the next time I'm speaking with him, or anyone else for that matter, I can remember my spiritual tools and practices, and I can push the pause button. So P-A-U-S-E, it is important that we pause sometimes, that we don't allow ourselves to get into these emotional states where we're running on autopilot. And things can happen, detrimental, hurtful things can happen if we allow our emotions to continue on autopilot. So what do I know for sure? I know that our words are creative. I know that we suffer when we ignore or misuse these universal laws. We suffer from confusion until we bring ourselves back into alignment. I know that it is always possible to introduce a new cause. I know that our spiritual principles that we learn and we teach here has the ability to change. We say change our thinking, change our lives. So I know that this truth that we study, that we practice, Ernest Holmes talked about it, Gandhi talked about it, be the change you want to see in the world. Well, if I'm explosive and I'm letting my emotions be on autopilot, is that really the change that I want to see in the world? No, it's not. I know that we're divine beings and we have come here to work on our consciousness. That's what I know. So, we can come from a position of knowing and a position of power. We can watch our emotions and not let our emotions run us. We can halt and become inactive and be still and push the pause button so we don't get the outpicturing to be something that we don't desire. So that's what I know. And so, I choose to pause. And I invite each of you to pause. Just take a moment. Go within. Sink into that place where we know that God resides. Look in into the eye of your neighbor, like we do when we first open up, we go and we greet our neighbor. We're seeing the face of God in them. We do that here, but we also need to do it out there. Because it's not me and you and them, it's we. Because we are one, part of the one. And that's what I know. So, I am going to, there is an affirmation that we love to do. So I'm going to read something from a Throwback Sunday from February 10th, 1977 in the Daily Guide. And then we'll go into the affirmation, and I'll read it first, and then I'll invite you to say it with me as well. So, Renee Schmidt, practitioner from Los Angeles, says, "It is wise to continually accept change with ease. Your craftsmanship with change is apparent in the garment of thought, woven on the invisible loom of your mind. You are in control. Your freedom of choice is powered by the law of cause and effect. And if you choose a rebirth, it will be yours. It is certainly comfortable to remember continually that God's love supports all that you are and all that you may desire to be." So I affirm that I continue to recognize and remind myself that there is one life and one mind. This new moment is untarnished, bright and shiny with infinite good. I step out in God's faith, and with steady hands, I weave a new pattern of pure joy, perfect health, and radiant happiness. Attitudes require change are lovingly and gently corrected now. So let's state this affirmation together. If you agree with me, join me by repeating each sentence line by line. There is only one life and mind, bright and shiny with infinite good. I step out in God's faith and with steady hands, and I weave a new pattern of pure joy, perfect health, and radiant happiness. Attitude requiring change and lovingly and gently corrected now. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you. We'll have some music, and then we'll have our announcement
All
and
right.
offering, intro, and affirmation.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. This next song is we were talking. Sonja went back to 1977. There, I'm going to go back even farther. This song is over 100 years old. It was my in its original version. It was my grandmother's favorite hymn. I've changed it to be kind of a more modern, New Thought version. I hope you like it. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and a voice I hear comes from somewhere near and quietly discloses, Spirit walks with me, Spirit talks with me. It tells me I'm never alone. Oh, the joy I feel as the truth's revealed. seem to glisten. Spirit walks with me, Spirit talks with me. It tells me I'm never alone. Oh, the joy I feel as the truth's revealed, knowing all are one. I carry that melody still, though the garden was long, long ago. Yet that memory is so clear to me. I close my eyes and then back I go. Spirit walks with me, Spirit talks with me, and it tells me I'm never alone. Oh, the joy I feel as the truth's revealed, knowing all are one. Knowing all are one. Knowing all are one. Boogaloo in the garden.
These are the announcements for February 13th, 2022. Are you ready to be of sacred service? If so, please see me after service today to sign up for a task to make our Sundays even more special. Our Board of Trustees meeting is today at 12 noon. If you would like to join us for our visioning for 20 minutes, we meet at the large conference table. The Wilkerson family invites you to attend the memorial service celebrating the life of our beloved Dr. Ruth Wilkerson in our sanctuary on Saturday, March 5th from 1 to 3 p.m. Dr. Ruth was our senior minister for over 24 years. If you personally know or have a family member, neighbor, or friend who is a general contractor, let us know who this person is, and one of our leaders can call them to ask for help with our deferred maintenance projects. Special thanks for joining us live and in person this morning in the sanctuary, and we also appreciate all of you who have connected with us this morning via Facebook Live and YouTube. You are a firework and you are loved. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you, Holly. So now it's our favorite time. It's offertory. And before we do the offertory, one thing I wanted to just make a suggestion in the sanctuary to everybody who's coming through. We did in the greeting, remember, greet your neighbor. So if you're uncomfortable having people even doing a fist bump, you can always just go like that. Just like this means the other person will respect that space. And I think we're going to be having this kind of habit probably for quite a while. So we don't want anybody to feel like you have to take a hug, but if you are a hugger and you're ready, hey, we got people who are going to hug you back, and be ready. I just did a reading that said if you get a hug and you can give it for 20 seconds or more, it starts to release serotonin, it starts to release dopamine. It's like the right hug. So we might even get like little name tags or colors that will say it, but if you are being approached and you're uncomfortable, just simply go like that, and we will respect all the space. So the offertory, this is important. Caitlin and Sonja, what do you guys know about giving? Come on up if you want, both of you.
That it's reciprocal.
It's reciprocal. Just like what Sonja said today, that the universe is reciprocal. So what I say all the time here is it's the same muscle, right? The same portal from which we receive through is the same portal from which we give through. So if you're giving with a clenched fist, I would encourage you to practice more and more releasing that, right? And so that your portal, your spiritual muscle, can become bigger, bolder, brighter space to serve you through in the receiving. All right, and you can play the music anytime. I'm going to invite us to bless our tithes and our gifts and our offerings. The ushers are coming forth. One thing I know is if you're watching remotely, and there's a lot of people who do, there's a lot of you giving, which is beautiful, and we thank you for that. So whatever it is you give, let us know who you are and where you're watching from, okay? We appreciate it. The gifts come in all week long. I've been telling you that. It takes an entire week to do the count. In the olden days, you used to be able to go in the office and do the count. Now, Zelle, PayPal, Venmo, the Donate Now button on Facebook, checks that are coming by mail. It's amazing. So keep that consciousness of giving for our center together. And let's just hold bless our tithes and our gifts and our offerings. And I'll read you a line for the offering, and if you agree, just say it with me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. So grateful. I am so blessed. So grateful.
This is it.
I am so blessed.
And the ushers are coming back forth. I invite you all to outstretch our hands together and know this, that CSL Redlands is an idea in the mind of Spirit and the mind of God, and therefore is maintained and sustained for all of its needs to be met right on time, every time. Do you agree with that? Amen. So we know it's good, we know it's so, and together we say, so it is. Okay, and stay for the closing treatment. You can you want to come up, Sonja, for the you want me to do it? Okay. Well, I would like you guys to anchor me at least, just where you are, or I know Caitlin wants to speak, so come on up. Ed, David, can you put the mics on? Remember, for the closing song, we're all singing. See, you could come up for the closing song to sing. Berlin's going to come up to sing the closing song, too. That's your mic right there, man. Yeah, really? Thank you, dear. All right, are all the mics locked and loaded? Yes. This one, too, up here?
Hello. Hello.
All right. Is this one on? We don't care if we blow the whole joint up. All right. So, I think you mind starting, and then
This is your power hour.
If there's any ministers or practitioners there, you can rise and just hold the space. And you want to? You didn't want to do it, so I'll do it. You want to start it and pass?
I'll start it. I just started. See, my thing is, I might bust out in song.
Do it.
So
Do it. Do it.
So just allowing yourself to close your outer eye and open that inner eye. Breathe in that breath of life, knowing the truth of your being, that there is one divine presence that is all good, it is universal, it is all love, it is all powerful, and it is that presence of God that lives, moves, and has its being in and through me and in and through each one of you.
Yes.
And if you can feel the love that it is, it just radiates from our being. So what does that love offer us? It offers us the understanding and knowledge that we are also love. We are also all that it is: joy, peace, prosperity,
Yes.
abundance, perfect health and wholeness. Because that's what it is: joy, peace,
Yes.
love, abundance, prosperity. It is all good. And when we live in the flow of that, it is beautiful to behold. And so I know that that power is living in you just as it is. And so I have two beautiful spiritual souls up here with me today. And I'm going to pass the prayer down and hold that space in consciousness and the vibration for that love. I pass this prayer to Caitlin.
And so, resting deeper and deeper still into the very Lord God of each of our beings, that perfect space that is changeless, that is infinitely strong, omnipotently knowing, active always and in all ways. And so as we rest into this space, I call forth a consciousness of privilege that it is to serve. And I honor that vibration, that higher octave of truth is alive and well in this space today. I can feel it. It's
Yes.
palpable.
Yes.
I can feel it.
Yes.
I love the high ceilings that are reminding us that as we navigate the human experience, we are held from a place of the Most High and never alone. And so I affirm, because each of us is whole within the whole, that there are lots and lots of microcosms present today, wholly, fully orbed individuals. And that because we're establishing who we are in wholeness as the individual, that power, that presence, that radiating energy catapults this planet forward.
Yes.
So I affirm that we are establishing now permeates the consciousness of those beloved beings in the Ukraine, who absolutely are calling on us now to have their backs, to establish a place that they can lean into, where we're the mirror bouncing back to them the truth that we know. I feel awe in this space. Back of my breath, that divine inspiration moving through me now. And so I pass my word.
Just stay right there, you're good. So I just know that there's only perfect God, perfect man, there's only perfect Brother Mark, there's only perfect you. So let's just say your names out loud. Perfect God, perfect.
Sonja.
Let me hear that again. Perfect God, perfect.
Sonja.
And if you're at home, you say your name at home. Now just inviting everybody who has a prayer on their heart to release it into the sanctuary space. If you're holding anybody in prayer, just state their name. Just out into the ethers. We want all these sentient beings, all the humans, to be loved and surrounded and indwelled with this power, this presence, this grace, this love that has been so beautifully and eloquently spoken here this day. Not much needs to be added to this prayer. Know this, that Spirit knows all the prayers on all the hearts of everybody watching, everybody
yes.
within the sound of my voice.
Yes.
Know that Spirit always says yes. Sonja said that today. The universe always says yes. So we're mindful of our thoughts and our thinking. And if we don't like the effect, we change the cause, and we learn to pause. And it's so good. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
All right, so just allow for your heart space to fill with gratitude. Allow for any healing, demonstration, manifestation that you may have been seeking to just be so. Just say, it is so.
It is so.
If it's for your highest and best good, just say that with me. If it's for my highest
It is
and best
for
good,
highest and best good.
it is done, it is so.
It is done, it is so.
Right here,
Right here.
right now.
Right now.
Together we say,
And so it is.
Berlin, get your mic, baby.
Amen.
All right, and join us as we sing the closing song. Thank you, Al. Thank you to our musical director, Gilman Carver. Sing along, play your instruments. Sorry, Katy Perry.
Okay.
Sorry for what's about to happen.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screams, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you, 'cause there's a spark in you, you just gotta ignite.
Let's get up, rise up.
And let it shine.
Open up the back doors.
Just on the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, You're gonna leave 'em all in You don't have to feel like a wasted space. You're original, cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds after a hurricane, onto a rainbow, maybe a reason why all the doors were closed, so you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow,
And when it's time, you'll know.
you just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, You're gonna leave 'em all in boom, boom, boom. Even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. It's always been inside of you, and now it's time to let it through. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, You're gonna leave 'em all in boom, boom, boom. Even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. Boom, boom, boom. Even brighter than the moon, moon, moon. Good job, everybody.
All right, so you have safe travels. You going on a